This is a dirty game, bro. And what I've always said is all is fair in love, war, and challenges, 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 and challenges.
As long as it works. Also, I have not been, I'm fully 100% sober right now.
Well, he's sober because you sure was lit on the fandom. I know that.
Oh, yeah. I was on the Challenge Fandom podcast. Man, I was a hop, skip, and a jump away from being full-blown fucking blacked out.
I sure wanted to go off on old boy when y'all start talking about Cora. I wanted to jump on. I said, hold on, partner.
It was fun. I had a lot of...
Wait, were they talking trash about Cara?
One of the guys he kind of made me a little upset. Somebody, I don't consider her no goat. I said, okay, all right. Well, I can refute everything you saying.
Which is fun. People are going to have, their different ideas.
Cara's a polarizing person. It's just some people really love her and some people hate her. It's just kind of one of the things.
I had a lot of fun. We got to cover a lot of shit, got to talk a lot of shit. It was a lot of fun. Thoroughly enjoyed it. But now we are on season 38, guys. We're over 150 episodes in. I'm feeling 150
episodes.
We're well over 150 episodes.
Holy shit.
Before we start this off, I just want to give a big shout out to our colleagues out there. We understand that not every challenge podcast is for everybody. Some people just want to listen to Challenge Mania. Some people just like us. Some people just like other people. You might have 2 or 3. It doesn't matter. As long as you're listening, I want to give a big shout out to all of our comrades and everybody else who's doing it. I want to give you a big shout out. Big shout out to Paige and the Most Likely Pod, Off the Hook Pod, the Unbothered Podcast. Hey. We love the Unbothered Podcast.
Woo,
we love the Unbothered fans group on
Unbothered.
Facebook. Those guys are fucking awesome. Caffeine Confessionals. What's up, Nikki? The Challenge
Malik, you never change.
The Challenge Fandom Podcast, Dude Alliance Podcast, Stir the Pod, Bites Podcast, Fuck with the Wrong Pod, Drew Engelman, and the Mike Lewis Pod. And such good camaraderie going around, and everybody's kind of chill with each other for the most part. Rob, you also have a podcast. Now's a good time to give a big shout out. Oh, wait, before you give a shout out, like I said earlier, I have not had anything to drink, and here goes my warning. I'm taking straight shots, and this is going to be a long episode. So
what do you got?
That's what
are you
I'm
drinking?
Talking about,
I'm drinking some whiskey, some Seagrams.
That's what I'm talking about.
I was gonna say that's yellow. That's a caramel
drink
colored
whiskey.
whiskey.
Rob, tell us about For the Love of the Challenge.
For the love of the challenge, I know I ain't posted in a while, y'all, but please go out, like, subscribe, listen, because I am going to be dropping some more new content. I have not reached out to anybody new, but if anytime you want to come on the show, just shoot me an email or you can shoot me a message on Instagram for the love of the challenge at gmail.com and for the love of the challenge on Instagram.
Bet. Let's go ahead and jump right into the shit. The show kicks off and they give us oh God, I hate this shit so much. We get the 20-minute, it's the beginning party. We had a whole launch special for this shit. Right. Why are we doing this again? We already know half the people. The other half of the people, let's get to know them as it goes on. This should have been covered in the launch episode. Hated that part, except for Turbo versus Laurel.
I am so upset. My future husband has decided to become a complete douchebag, and I don't know what the fuck happened.
Thank God. I thought we was going to get something else coming out of you about that, and I really got some shit about Turbo.
We all got shit about Turbo.
Listen, I loved Turbo, War of the Worlds 1. I even loved him, War of the Worlds 2. I don't know who this is that they brought into this show, because this is not the Turbo from there. Like, I don't know what riled him up. Maybe it's because he's secretly pissed off about, his band that he had, and now he's kind of taking it out on everybody. And I'm not a big fan of Laurel, but what he did was just out of pocket, and he's just this whole episode, this whole thing. If this is how he's going to be the entire season, yeah, I'm getting a divorce.
It does look like it's going to be that way.
I can see him going into every elimination this season, honestly. And
I think he'd be happy to. From the sound of it, he's like, yes, send me in, moron.
and I'm pretty sure Turbo's a fucking serial killer. I mean, he probably doesn't have a whole bunch of bodies, but he got at least 2, maybe 3. And I think maybe it's not because he caught so many bodies, but he probably killed all these people in an excruciating way. Now, I haven't been watching the whole Dahmer thing.
Well, he's a street fighter.
I know the whole story of Jeffrey Dahmer, and God, I mean, he's just problematic on so many levels, especially choosing the people he decided to kill. So I decided to skip that whole shit. But Turbo looks like he's going to go full fucking psycho this season.
Full fucking crazy.
And I'm not a fan. And this whole Laurel thing, it really should have been nothing. What did you have to prove? What did you have to prove? Why are you going so hard for? I see why they showed it to us, but for Turbo, not a good look.
No, not at all.
I'm telling you, he's come back as a different person. And it's like, I don't know what happened, because I mean, I don't know if I'm the only one. Maybe it's because I was like super attractive to me, but he seemed very humble, very sweet. His first season, even his second season, he was very humble. And he's come back and all of a sudden his shit doesn't stink. And I was like, holy shit.
He too cocky with it. I mean, you can't stay humble. I mean, too cocky. I mean, I'm sorry, but Turbo, he's coming here. It's like, hey, I'm the man. That's basically what he's saying. He's talking about, I don't give a fuck who you are. You gonna bow down to me. That's basically how he's coming across. And
he's talking to somebody who's won more championships than him.
Right.
So moving on, I mean, most of the shit during this whole entire, get to know you stage, I really didn't like. Surprised, not super surprised, but really excited to see Laurel back. I always loved the mad dash to the house. I'm so glad they're not doing the Challenge USA, put everybody together in one thing, they kind of did something like that. And Total Madness.
They already have some Lubba-Dub-Dub coming on season 1.
Already.
Or episode 1.
And we wasn't getting that kind of stuff with the Challenge USA. So I'm really glad we have that. Let me ask you guys, how do you guys feel about the double confessionals? We've seen it come out recently. These things was once in the blue before, and it looks like that's kind of going to be the standard going forward. How does the double confessional make you guys feel? I'm still iffy on it.
I say Rob looks really excited for it.
I am. I really am. I'm so amped. I'm glad the regular season is back. I'm glad there's no more USA. I missed the double, the confessionals, because I think the last time we saw it was in Bloodlines. So bring it on. I want all the drama. I want all the hookups. Let's go.
We were so deprived from USA. They were like, oh my God, give me anything. And we're so excited for it. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
mind you, I was even a little bit excited to see Kayla, because I was like, this bitch brings like drama. Kayla. I can't stand her, but she brings drama. She likes to fight and do stupid shit. So like, she's probably going to piss me off in 2.5 seconds, which she did. But nonetheless, I was happy to see her back.
I'm really high on Kayla because she did have a really good showing in All Stars 3, and her promising her husband sexual favors was just the funniest thing in the world for me. I mean, that was fucking hilarious. I think she brings.
She got to tell him to shut up for 2 weeks, though. Like,
right?
Is he that problematic that you got to tell dude to not say shit for 2 weeks?
I mean, I love what she brings to the show. She's going to be good, and I'm really excited to see Nerys. I'm a fan of Nerys. I didn't watch her Are You the One season, but I follow her online, and I really find a lot of her stuff. I'm pretty sure there's very little she can do to make me not like her. I mean, she would have to like fuck Jordan or something for me to dislike her.
There was her X on the Beach season was actually pretty good too.
Oh yeah, she was on X on the Beach. Actually, one of the seasons I really, really liked. A lot of romances brewing, but I don't really want to talk about all of the romances, especially with like Raven and Johnny. And it seems like, and I know Horatio doesn't come in till later, but Raven and Johnny look like they're not going to get what they hope they get. Horatio is so fucking in love with Olivia. She doesn't even see it. He is so in love with her. He really is. And she does it not.
He got friend zoned quick, poor boy.
Right.
It sounds like he's been friend zoned for years. And I'm pretty sure at some point that might actually blow up. Raven is handling it a little bit better, but God, those two are the friend zone MVPs.
I had to look it up. I'm like, where are these people from? And I was like, oh, they're Love Island. Okay. That makes
speaking
sense.
of Love Island, how do you guys feel about Colleen and Kim lying about what show they're on and the way that Jack found out? I love the fact that Jack did his homework and he did his research.
Right.
And he came in armed with something that a lot of other people didn't have. It shows that he's been a student of the game and he's ready. Colleen and Kim should have done the same, and they should have seen how things like this are done. Remember when old boy lied about going into elimination, and West of them found out because it was asking them about all of these, all of these different things about it. The guy who played football, CJ right. lied about having to go into elimination, and then they're just making some shit up, but they started asking questions, and he got found out real quick, and the whole house would turn on you. Do not lie when you come into the house about generally easy to find stuff. How did those two things make you guys feel?
I mean, I'm surprised more people didn't know, because I think most people are like, where are you from? Who are you? Just to kind of get an idea, because anybody who's watched the show knows that they have to build alliances. So they have to kind of know these people kind of coming in. So I am really surprised that he's the only one that kind of found it out. And I don't know why she was dumb enough to lie, because like, it's going to get found out eventually. So like, now you look worse. So And just because she was a bad person or a mole in the last season, it doesn't necessarily mean she's going to do it here. That was just a part of the deal. She had to do it.
But 100%, but you don't need a good reason. Any reason to do, any reason for them not to trust you, any reason for them to say their name instead of yours.
Yeah, and I mean, you have to do your homework, especially going to the game like this, because if you're not American, I'm not putting my faith in nobody that's not from the USA. So you got to earn my trust on that one.
Damn.
Damn, okay.
Yeah.
I got to be like that.
Where were you January 6th?
Well, no, yeah. I ain't got time to listen to that. But no, man, I mean, I got called, I'm going to put it like this. I mean, it's something that y'all haven't seen, but one girl called me out in college and we kind of had it out. I love her to death. I mean, that's my home girl to this day. I say I'll text her every now and again and see how she's doing. But that's
one
how
of those homegirls.
That's my DNA. That's in my DNA. Because if I don't know you like that, and if I'm coming to a game like this, you best believe I'm gonna do my homework prior to me asking you 50 million questions. I already know the answer before you even say it. So if you lie to me, I know I'm done with you.
Oh, well, I guess I can understand, but I can also understand her hesitation because of what her show implies. So I can kind of see why she's like, I really don't want anybody to know.
Her show implies that she's a liar.
Yeah.
So, and she may not be like it. Again, it was the game. So she made it work for her and she won. So big props to her. She won the game.
All right. So before we get out of the A block, two other things I noticed. One of them was some of the people in the room, and Chauncey, Johnny Middlebrooks, and Jay ended up in the room. And the first thing that came to my mind was like, oh, wow, that's nice. They put the first three boots in the room. I just started dying laughing. Even though I think Chauncey will probably do a little bit better, I'm not sure how long Jay is going to last. He has a lot of friends, but that's not going to stop him from getting stomped out as we've seen in the past. And the second one was Nelson's toast. Now, I'm guessing he was nominated because he's been on the most seasons as of recent. I was happy for him. I think it speaks to his character and how other people view him that he was nominated to do the toast. Now, the toast was god-awful.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to ask Nelly to make a speech? That guy can't even speak properly. He can't have a conversation, much less do a fucking speech.
No, but it speaks to his status. He's not a young buck anymore. He's a little bit older. He's one of the most senior people in the game now.
There's no young bucks there. He's the last one left.
Yeah.
Out of everybody who's on the season, I mean, Laurel's been there a lot longer. And if you would have asked me, Laurel should have been the obvious fucking nod. But I think it speaks to who Nelson is and what they think of him. And I thought that was a nice gesture.
I mean, I think he just wanted to be Johnny. I'm pretty sure he's like, I want to do a toast. Yo, I want to do a toast, guys. Let me do a toast.
It looks like he was nominated.
I can totally see him just going around like, let me do a toast, guys.
No, he looked like he was caught off guard.
I don't think so. What do you think, Rob? Do you think he was caught off guard?
I don't think he was prepared to give any kind of toast. I wouldn't have gave it to Nelson in the first place. I would have gave it to somebody that's been there for 80 years versus giving it to Nelson.
Nelson's the oldest one there at this time. Besides Laurel.
Overall, if you think about it, though, like Nelson can't write a speech, much less come up with one off the jump.
It's not really a speech; it's a toast.
I could do a toast better than his toast.
Every man needs to have 2 or 3 toasts under his belt. One of my favorites is, I grab my drink and like, hey, to our wives and to our girlfriends, may they never meet. And I usually just lean on that one.
That's a good
I've
one.
heard that one before.
I like that.
It's classic. Pick a couple of toasts. If you're a man, pick a couple of toasts, have them on deck just in case. Let's go ahead and move on to this daily. Today's daily is called Bolas for Blood. Basically, there's 100 bolas, and you got to go to a station to ask you a question. You grab these bolas, and you figure out the answer. Once you figure them out, you grab the shit running across this mud pit, and you score. This is how you win the game. Yada, yada, yada. Now, before we even get started, TJ comes out and says, Casey and her brother Kenny are gone. They're gone. No fucking explanation, which means COVID. Yes.
COVID.
We all figured that out very fucking fast. So they were pulled, and that's when we get Olivia and Horatio and Nam and Emmy. And I'm very happy to see Nam back. I thought he was a good character. Hasn't really bought much, but he's one of those guys that I think
Did you say a good character? That man is wallpaper.
Like, he's a good person. Like, he's not an asshole.
Right.
Oh.
And
okay.
he's likable. God knows this staff could use some people who's likable.
True.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a lot of potential. We haven't seen much yet, but some potential. I'm willing to give him another shake. And he puts his heart into stuff. So I'm happy to see Nam. Lord knows we could have got another big brother asshole to come through and fuck this up. Let me tell you something. Let's take Nam and just be happy for it. He's going to do good, get into some shit with a girl, and make a mid-season exit.
Right.
Is that his girlfriend?
I'm kind of tired of Big Brother people.
I don't know who she is.
I was like, why does that Annalise chick look familiar?
Oh, Annalise was from Big Brother. That was from the season we tried to watch because we was going to do a Big Brother podcast.
But I feel like I remember her for a bad reason. Like, I feel like she was one of the ones that had a bad situation with her.
I don't remember anything too bad. I don't think I was a huge fan, but I think she's a challenge fan. I didn't really hate her when I was watching Big Brother, or like 6 episodes of it that I watched.
Like I don't know, something about her face makes me feel like I saw it on a Scandal. I don't know why, but I feel like she was scandalous for some reason.
Nice, Becky. You just hit her with she has a punchable face.
No, I'm not saying, I don't mind her. I just think she has a scandalous, it looks like she might have gotten into some stuff, but I'm just saying, that's what it looks like to me. I may be wrong.
Remember Gamer Vev, or nobody has said anything, so maybe we're just tripping on that one. Yeah, we could be wrong.
She just looks like the type of person that we've probably seen before.
Seen her on Big Brother. That's all I could really remember her from. So moving on to the daily, we got the bowling for bolas. Surprisingly, we get a rookie winner. I mean, a rookie winning their first daily, it has to be absolutely fucking rare. I think Laurel did it when she first came in. I can't remember. Like, it's hard for me.
Well, Laura was with fresh meat, so she was.
Yeah, she was with Kenny.
Kenny,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Kenny would do that. But doing this, they start talking about Nelson's elimination daily record, and
His
something
lack thereof.
Exactly, and it's something that I've talked about repeatedly. I said a lot of times the people who do best and people who see the least amount of eliminations overall are people who win dailies, because they keep their name out of other people's mouths when it matters the most. And then they're just like, yeah, it's not really about dailies, it's really just about the final. I'm like, you don't get there without winning fucking dailies. Direct contrast.
But yet, how many? If you end up going into elimination over and over again, law of averages, you're probably going to go home eventually.
Exactly. Unless you're Paulie, and this is Final Reckoning. You get a million fucking chances.
Let's be honest. he kept losing. He just kept getting sent to the redemption house.
I fucking loved it. He used that house to his biggest advantage, and he fought his way back in. I love to see it. So Raven and Johnny Middlebrooks gets the win. Let's talk about some of our likes and our dislikes from this daily. One, let me start with the dislikes. I thought the pit was pretty small. I thought it could have been a little bit bigger, and I thought it could have used a little bit of physicality, but I totally understand not wanting to get somebody injured within your first couple of, your first episode.
You ain't getting nobody injured in no mud pit. Trust me on that one.
Not unless you have a limited number of numbers on those balls. And you need that last number 2.
Yes, I thought that would have been a good way to look at it. I love the fact that Nelly lost because he didn't know his age.
His own age.
How long you been lying about your age, sir? That was fucking hilarious. What about you guys? What was some of your favorite moments, some of your likes and your dislikes from today's daily? We'll be back in a moment. You're listening to Love War Challenges. What's good?
How's it going? This is Derek Kaczynski.
So this is Paulie, and you're listening to Love War Challenges.
What up, Malik? This is Cara Maria. This is a shout out to the Love War and Challenges podcast. You're totally awesome.
Love War Challenges. For anyone listening to this, they're at LWC Podcast.
World's most dangerous podcast.
You're talking about physicality. You saw people almost get ran over because apparently they didn't realize how deep that water was, and you just see people falling on their faces, in the minute they hit the water.
There was some physicality.
But then the fact that I feel kind of bad for them. I think they're German, right? The team that's what does cumulative mean?
Oh yes, that's right. How did people? Why was this word tripping so many people up?
Because it
was tripping up Americans too.
It's a pretty big word, but I mean, I know what that means. I may not be able to know how to pronounce it, but I can definitely know what it means. I kept trying to pronounce it. I was like, God, I can't pronounce that word, but I know but I've read it so many times. I know what it means. So I think I don't know if it's just it's a $5 word and people are $1 word people, but I mean, apparently, even if they know what the word means, they don't know their own age, right. Nelly. But I'll be honest, I kind of feel that way too, because every once in a while I forget how old I am and I'll say 37. No, wait, 38. Wait, let me math. How old am I? But I mean, that was funny to me. I did watch that. And was it Kayla and Sam who almost won, but they dropped the ball. Right. And they had to find it before they can get up there. And the other team got there first. Raven and her
definitely happens. Rob, what were some of your favorite moments, likes or dislikes from today's daily?
I think I did like seeing a rookie team win, believe it or not, because I was like, well, it's a mix-up game now, so I'm interested to see what they're going to do in the house. I did like the fact that Nelly did forget his own age. I said, I'm 40 years old. I'm not going to forget I'm 40 years old. I would do the math, put it up there, bam, game over. But I thought this challenge was actually interesting because of the fact that you had where you have to know these numbers because you've known this person for a long period of time, and you should have gotten through it more quicker than what you did.
Absolutely. So we get back to the house, and it looks like they're setting up another thing where it's going to be like last season we called it winners and losers, where the winners sit down with the losers. The winners are going to pick 2 teams to go into elimination. I hate seeing any remnants of the Challenge USA make their way. I didn't hate winners and losers, but I have gone on and on about how a show like this, and don't get me wrong, I get you can skip a couple of seasons, but you really need the house vote. The house vote, the tension that it creates. Not having a house vote, we're missing a lot of interactions and we're missing a lot of panicking and deal making by not having one. So Johnny and Raven gets to win. They have to come up with teams. they're already aligning themselves with the rookies, but they don't want it to seem too obvious. So they called down Laurel and Jack, Kim and Colleen, Kayla and Sam, Tori and Devin. How do you guys feel about these being the 4 teams that they picked?
I mean, I think it's smart. Ish. Calling out Laurel is never the best move. If anybody who has watched the challenge knows that she comes back like a freight train. I think going after Devin and Tori is a smart move, getting away somebody who has a lot more brain than anything else, because he really does lead that team. And having at least one rookie group in there kind of helps. And they're obviously the foreign ones that nobody really knows. So it's kind of easy to scoop them up and be like, okay, it won't make very many waves. But the fact that they did bring in not just vets, but hardcore vets, I can respect it.
Me personally, I viewed it as the man is betting on himself. I mean, you can't go wrong with betting on yourself because he's confident. You know, he's not showing you his arrogance or anything. He said, I don't care who I throw in. I say, I'm going to play my game and I'm going to stick to my guns. So I thought it was a smart move, but also not a smart move because you threw Laurel in. If you knew the history of Laurel, you wouldn't threw her in. You would have went for another vet team to bring everything into light. So putting her up, I thought that was kind of on a shaky move because I don't think I would have put Laurel up because I know her history. So I would probably pick Nelson and his partner versus Laurel and her ride or die.
Absolutely. For the most part, I did like it. I thought picking Laurel was spicy, but I think they're trying to make a statement and they're trying to use the power while they have it. If they sit there and don't make any waves, then it might all be for nothing. If you're going to make enemies, might as well do something about it now. I really liked who they picked. I thought, like I said, if I was in their position, just knowing how Laurel get down, that's a spicy pick. But they put the numbers up and everybody's kind of shocked to see it. And Kayla said it best. She like, fucking bold move. A lot of people congratulated them for it being a bold move, even though it might be somewhat dumb. Because I think Kayla could hold a grudge also.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Kayla and Sam were put in there too, weren't they?
Right. So very exciting. Now we see them sit down with all of these groups and they sit down with them, they have a discussion. And I want to talk about that a little bit. Some of the stuff that I've seen that I really, really liked. I absolutely loved the way Johnny played it. He played it the same way how Wes would have played it.
Mm-hmm.
And if I save you now, what will you do for me in the future? He was trading his win for more power and allies down the road. The only person you really had to watch out of that was Kayla because and Kayla said it in her confessional. She was like, yeah, we're not following that shit anyway. Laurel is probably going to stick to her word, at least till you get later on in the season. Colleen and Kim would definitely stick to their word because they knew, if anything, they can use some friends. And I think Tori and Devin would try not to piss off the rookies as much as possible. I love the way Johnny played it. I love how Jack used the information that he had to try to save himself somewhat. So a lot of great things went down when they had this interrogation scene. So anything stick out to you guys that you liked or disliked? Or tell me your thoughts on the interrogation scene.
I mean, overall, Kayla just looked confused the entire time. Like, you're the vet in this whole situation. Like, how are you not leading? You've done this before. I mean, she did the whole thing. I remember.
It's funny you say that because from what we've seen with Kayla, and we see this later on during club night, it looks like she doesn't really have any interest in being like social at all or playing the social game. I mean, I understand your husband's there, but she just seems to be really not that into it.
I don't know if it's because Jenna's not there.
Probably. But she ain't been in the regular challenge for a while, so.
She's just coming off All-Stars 3. Baby girl, you know how this works.
Well, I mean,
yeah, that's true.
I mean, we've seen her do this before where she's negotiated. I mean, she did it with you remember the Troika situation where she threw Natalie completely under the bus. So like, I was expecting that where she was a little bit more assertive. Again, she's she's a vet in this whole situation, and she just left her husband like.
I think her marriage had something to do with it. Then again, I could be wrong, but I mean, she is married now, so that's the only difference between
She was a
now and then.
politicker. She did use a lot of politicking.
She was married when All Stars 3 came out, and she played a wonderful game.
That's true.
And we're not seeing any of that.
But
really
he
come
wasn't
out.
there.
Yeah,
She
he
was
definitely wasn't
alone.
there.
So
Good point.
she needed allies. So at this point, the sheer fact that she told him to shut up and not say shit and let her kind of take the lead, yet she didn't really try and even get to know even the females in the house.
Right.
That's kind of like, and that's where Kayla kind of excels. She makes clicks with the other females, and that's how she ends up getting through.
Yeah, but she'll alienate everybody else who's not in the clique.
Yeah, but if you make your clique large enough, you have enough soldiers, you're getting buffered.
Right.
Buffered.
From
All
getting knocked out first.
My opinion about the interrogation thing, I thought it was interesting. I'm like, you got the vets on one side and then the rookies on the other side. And he's there trying to negotiate, furthering himself in the game, which is cool. But I'm like, in the same sense, you're a rookie, man. You got to expect to go in every time. Nothing's guaranteed in this game.
I don't think he's really thinking that they're going to 100% I don't think he's going to take their word 100% for guarantee. I think
it's a showman's then. So it's just a standoff. So, I mean, my mentality going into a game like this, I'm new. I've been watching it for years. I'm not a fool. So I'm going to stay ready so I don't have to get ready.
Big facts. So after the interrogation, we get club night. They get to the club. Nothing really happens besides Kayla pretty much being a little antisocial. Tommy looks like he's having the time of his life. And he's enjoying himself.
Yeah, he was the one that crowd surfed, right?
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. It's always nice to see these guys have fun. We got a little bit more of that last season, but that's something that's been missing from the seasons overall. And when you get to All-Stars, you see them throwing their house parties and stuff, and it looks like a fucking blast. Not to mention, some shit always happens when that goes down.
Well, I mean, All-Stars is kind of a throwback to old challenges where they would have these outrageous parties. Mm-hmm. I remember they had a whole VIP party where you had to
that was
get
excellent.
into the VIP party.
Right.
And they had toga parties and they had costume parties, wig parties.
Right. Yes, great moments.
I'm like, I miss those days because, I think club night's always fun, but
we are in a COVID society now, so we got to think COVID.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could have that in your house, like it's a party, like
right,
even doing like the pageant. I remember they did a couple times where they had pageants, and I always loved those.
Oh man, the free agent parties always was lit too. But moving on, not much happened before we got to the elimination, which they call the zone. But we did see the rookie alliance forming. It looks like it's going to be Jay, Chauncey. Amber is not really a rookie, and she's a champ, but she's in on this too. You also got Nerese and Michelle, Jay, Johnny.
Well, I'm not surprised. Amber's been screwed over by so many of the vets. She doesn't want to deal with any of them.
I'm not super surprised either. Amber's treatment on the challenge has been just fucking disgusting. And so I'm glad, and also did my two favorite females, Amber and Nerese are my favorite. I don't really get on these girls for their looks or anything, but goddamn, those are some gorgeous women right there. So I'm really excited.
Nerese is insane.
Bad. Just total bad.
What the fuck? That is unfair.
Yeah, I really hope those two are on our screens for as long as humanly possible.
Right.
And Amber's always stunning, but
yes, absolutely.
Nerese blows everybody out.
I wouldn't say blow everybody out. Amber is
fine.
Listen,
I mean, the girl is fine.
I know she's fine, but in comparison to Nerese, I'm sorry. I think Nerese is
I'm not pitting these women together because this is a progressive
I'm not saying it's
podcast.
Against anything.
Okay.
Amber's still bad. She's still hot as hell. But I'm going to give credit where credit. As a female, let's just say, hello, Nerese.
I'm not going to pit them against each
Wow.
other. They are both bad, and I love seeing them both on the screen. I do like this rookie alliance, but we've seen it before.
Right.
Rookie alliances are easily broken up by vets because all you got to do is just tell one rookie, hey, you're on our team now, and they'll drop the rookies like that. I'm glad that they have some numbers working in conjunction with each other. And I'm glad somebody like Chauncey's on there because he got some size on him. It looks like he can handle himself. We haven't seen anything from him really yet. Johnny already got a win, so that's going to be good. But where's the beef? It's a lot of unknowns in this alliance. They got a couple of numbers working together, but I don't know. I think this could work if it's super kept on the low, and we all know that's not going to happen. And it doesn't
I just want to know
happen.
where Messy Fessy is. Fessy's been like blurring into the background.
No, Fessy's going to link up with Nelson. They're going to, they're going to get.
You think so? You think he's going to trust him after the last season?
I think he'll give him a little bit more trust in the rookies because
I wouldn't trust him at all.
And I think somebody like Jay would be easily enticed to the other side. You think Fessy and Nelson couldn't get Jay to flip?
Yeah, but his partner, Michelle, might not be because Michelle had some issues on her season.
We've seen partnerships.
Jay is not that
have different
smart,
opinions.
He's not that smart. I've seen his season of Survivor. No, he's not that smart. I'm going to tell you that now.
Team not so smart.
Yes. I'm not going with Jay on nothing. I'm sorry, Jay, if you're hearing this. No, I'm not.
I doubt Jay really cares about our opinion.
But this rookie alliance, what do you guys think of it, and what chances do you give this alliance?
It depends on whether they can stay together. The big issue, like you said, is the fact that they're easily lured to other side.
And they got to win dailies.
And they got to win the daily. And it's one of those situations where they cannot, it's just like the vet alliance. They cannot draw first blood because then it's just going to be a bloodbath. They got to stay close together and they cannot backstab each other, period.
But that's all fine and dandy what you're saying, and I 100% agree with you, but they're not going to be able to handle the twists and turns in this house because you don't know what's going to happen. We already know there's going to be a lot of twists and turns in this season, but how are they going to react to those twists and turns?
I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out. All right, let's move on to the zone, the elimination.
Oh, this shit's crazy.
Yes, it is. It's going to be free agents, baby. Free agents.
So
the draw is back.
Yes.
So Raven and Johnny gets the win, and they come out, and then the people who they all pick comes out. Now that's going to be Colleen and Kim, Kayla and Sam, Tori Devin, and Laurel and Jack. TJ lets them know who are you guys going to pick. And they pick Kayla and Sam, which, okay, let's just focus on that real quick. Did they make the right choice? If the person they're going to pick is going to go into elimination, was Kayla and Sam the right choice?
Yes.
Yes, I would say yes and no. Kayla and Sam are easy to pick. They haven't really been super social. Sam more than Kayla, but Kayla doesn't really have any friends here, and she has the ability to piss off people faster than anybody else. But if you're here to take a shot, and you're going to take a shot, but you don't take it at Laurel. You don't take it at Laurel unless somebody else is in there that's going to fucking clean house. That's one. Sure. But I would think Tori and Devin probably would have been a more logical choice, being for the fact that they've been doing this for a while. Tori has one of these wins coming to her more sooner than later. Devin, not so sure, but he played excellently the last time we sent him out. I would have went with that. How would you guys have went with the vote?
I think it's a smart vote. I think it makes the least amount of waves, but also eliminates a vet. I'll be honest, Kayla's track record in elimination is terrible. So I don't think that anybody really, I think when Kayla goes into elimination, she just expects to lose. I think that's just a thing for her because she looks, because every single time I see her go in there, she like loses like all faith. She doesn't know how to keep her mind focused, and she literally looks defeated the minute she gets called in. So, I mean,
Yeah.
she doesn't stay ready is what I basically say.
If you have to take a shot at one of the vet teams that's in this game, I would have took it at Kayla and Sam. I would not have target Devin and Tori, or I wouldn't.
Laurel's a death wish.
Right.
Yeah.
You because if she comes back, you already done. So he did right by sending Kayla and Sam.
We'll be back in a moment. You're listening to Love War Challenges. What's good?
How's it going? This is Derek Kaczynski.
So this is Paulie, and you're listening to Love War Challenges.
What up, Malik? This is Cara Maria. This is a shout out to the Love, War, and Challenges podcast. You're totally awesome.
Love War Challenges. For anyone listening to this, they're at LWC Podcast.
World's most dangerous podcast.
I was going to say Jax is her partner, right? Laurel's
Yes.
partner. He's an
2Ks.
unknown factor, but I mean, Laurel has carried teams. Like,
You know what? That's a good observation. Plus, I don't think Laurel would have bought somebody just because she likes them. Out of all of the people that she knew, she bought somebody who she thought would be able to compete and keep up.
Yes.
That is pretty fucking
or someone
frightening.
that's able to keep her calm. I mean, that's kind of the situation with even Laurel. Laurel has a very short temper.
Laurel would rather go full psychopath than bring somebody who can't keep up with her. I
True.
think Jack is an unknown, but just the fact that Laurel picked him, got to keep an eye out for that guy. And it looks like he's smart too. So,
Yeah.
and he looks pretty fucking fearless. So,
I mean,
Gotta keep
I'll
an
be
eye out for that
honest.
guy.
Look at what Laurel did with someone like Zach. Like, she literally dragged him through
Yeah.
a final. So let's just, if Laurel can do that, I really don't have any doubts that she can really carry any team.
Well, she can because I've seen it, especially in the volleyball tournament that we played. I've
You mean
seen
when she
it
beat you?
by we shot ourselves in the foot. Don't get me started. Let me stay on top because you about to make me go off. Okay,
I did it on purpose because he went crazy one time.
Let me chill. Okay, so but I've seen it. I've seen it with Laurel and I've seen it with Darrell. Those two are phenomenal when they can drag anybody. They can drag Malik and you to anything and win. Okay, so yes, Laurel.
I'm with the shit. So,
yes.
I was going to say she'd be dragging B. Malik would probably
let me keep it
good
cool
with her.
because you're still gonna make me go off a little bit. So I'm gonna be cool.
all right.
You lost.
So, back to the zone. Kayla and Sam are nominated. We get something that we haven't seen in a long time. We get the draw. We haven't seen this since Free Agent season 25. And the draw.
No. Didn't we have the draw too there was a draw on Final Reckoning.
No.
You remember to get into.
That wasn't no draw though.
Yeah, that wasn't really a draw. And that was mostly it was a version of it, but it wasn't really used in the main house.
Right.
Oh,
So-
This one remind me automatically of Free Agents.
Free Agent. And Free Agents is
Well,
the
I
best
knew-
challenge season that ever was.
I am kind of sad that Kara's not on this season because to see her reaction to the draw would have been just gold.
Exactly. And then you got to get the whole montage of the shit that she's going through with it. Oh, God. Remember she had to pull it with the broken hand? Oh, man. It's
Yes.
fucking great. So we get the draw, but now the draw itself was a nice twist. I thought that was a cool twist. I was like, okay, the draw creates chaos. And it fucks up a lot of people's plans. And also, your promise of, hey, if I vote you in, will you keep us safe later on, has a lot less power. Because just for calling me down here, you put me in danger. And you can't promise to keep me safe. So just saying my name
reminds me a little bit of Dirty 30, because Dirty 30 had a version of this too.
People are going to make a lot of enemies fast by who they pick down there. Now, you think that would be just a twist alone. Everybody has to pull these knives out and get into that in a minute. Devin makes a joke. Hey, Turbo, the knives got to stay down here. And this is where this is where Turbo, I mean, don't get me wrong, the shit on the boat was kind of fucked up. We didn't really see anything from Turbo or his partner up until now. And I started to sour when he was on the boat. And this exchange with Devin, he was completely out of line. I mean, he just going off. Devin just made a joke. It wasn't even really at your expense. If anything, it says, hey, you're such a badass, leave these down here. And he took it so personally and threw such a bitch fit, like it's not cute. His whole demeanor is just kind of fucked up. Hey, I get it. You was in 1 or 2 action movies during the off season. And really, after that, I was just, and even worse, he is fucking terrifying. And I'm fucking terrified of fucking Turbo. He seems like a serial killer. Fucking terrified of this guy. And he makes this so much not fun. Devin said it best. Don't invite this guy to the wedding. He'll soak up all the fun.
I mean, a portion of that, I think, is just the way, because Devin's delivery is so dry. It kind of, he doesn't get the humor. No,
he doesn't get a build-out for Lost in Translation.
But a portion
do your homework,
of it,
watch the show, learn your competitors. You're giving him an easy cop-out. He doesn't deserve it.
Let me finish. But also, he had a very bad experience on 2, where War of the Worlds 2 with Jordan openly mocking him, and the way he mocked him is very similar to the way. But hey, maybe he just has some PTSD. That's it. But I don't agree with it. I think he fucking took it way too far.
Way too far.
Wait a minute. The way Jordan mocked him, he had me dying. But that's the language barrier between an American and somebody from another country. You can't joke like that because they don't get it. You gotta break it down to them like they don't know. And you lost
the joke by the time you're breaking down the joke. Now.
So check this out. The way that I view Turbo's behavior and his reaction to it is like, you ever meet people who just came out of jail, who's been doing it for a long time? You know, they've been in the joint for a long time. When they come out, they're not really ready for how society is. You know, in jail, it's all about, don't show any disrespect, and everybody gotta respect each other. And out here in the regular world, people are rude as fuck. So they take all that shit personally and they overreact to it. And that's kind of reminds me of Turbo's behavior. At the same time, Turbo, it's on you to do your homework, see what these people are like, maybe get their humor and maybe get some of the, and don't get me wrong, as an American, I know how crazy that sounds because we don't know shit about a lot of other people's cultures, and people outside the US make fun of us for that, for being ignorant towards other people's cultures. I do think it can go both ways, but you are in America on an American, well, not in America, but you're on an American show. You kind of got to know how these guys work, and you've been here before.
With about 90% Americans.
But also you've been here before. Even the whole shit with Jordan, as fucked up as that was.
Do you know what I realized? There's not any Brits on this episode, on this season.
You know, Kyle was invited but turned it down.
Well, because his girlfriend was knocked up. She was pregnant.
I feel some kind of way about that too, because they got the Challenge UK coming up, and the Challenge has brought a lot of people from the UK. We had the whole UK invasion thing going on. There's a wealth of people to pick from, and none of them are going to be included.
You know what? Georgia and from what I saw, Georgia and Theo were dropped right before, like 2 weeks before.
Why? Yeah. Why would they be dropped? Those are the 2 people you would probably want the most. And where's fucking Rogan and Joss?
Right. Rogan's gone. Joss is gone because of I think they had some racist tweets or some shit like that.
Did they?
Really?
I didn't know that either.
There was something there, and I want to say it's racist. I want to say it was racism, but I'm not 100% for sure. Check me that, whoever's listening. Listeners.
Did not know that. Well,
did not know that neither.
I mean, if it's not racism stuff, then yeah, that sucks. If it is stuff that has to do with race, then fuck them both.
I think Joss might have had the same issue. And I think Joss and Rogan might have had a falling out.
Didn't
Georgia
from what I have a blackface thing?
Blackface issue, yeah.
I heard about that. Yeah.
Plus, I've heard from a challenger. Now, I've only heard this from one person. Nothing I've seen online really corroborates that, but this person has spent time with them. So
I mean, it's not just a blackface thing. It was also something that she made a comment that was a very racial comment of because of that. So again, I'm not a huge fan of Georgia. I think Georgia's a bit of a elitist.
Maybe. I
still feel bad about with the whole bear situation though, but
let's go ahead and move it back to the zone. We get the draw, but the draw has a twist. Everybody has to pull a knife, which is like flipping the card, pull a knife. And we're thinking if you're pulling the knife and it's blank, you're safe, right? And wrong. You have to pull a knife that says safe. And then once you're safe, the other two people are on the menu, and the team that was chosen to go in gets to pick from those two teams. This is pure fucking chaos. And I love every single second of it. It makes the game so unpredictable. It makes that when you throw people in and they have to pick, you're gonna have to pick a whole bunch of people you fucking hate. And you're gonna have to and all those people who do come back are going to be your enemies when they do. I think it's pure chaos. I think it blows the door wide open. I fucking love it. What do you guys think about this draw twist?
I love it. I'm not even gonna lie, man. When I saw this, I said, hands down, this is gonna make the game interesting. And don't talk about the twists that's get ready to happen. Oh my God. This is gonna be the most electrifying season we've seen.
Super excited to see what else they have. I mean, think about it. We've been watching the challenge forever. Even when they put in all of these twists and stuff, how often are we really surprised? Fucking hardly. Almost never. I was thoroughly surprised and in a good way. Becky.
I really did enjoy seeing the reactions, and I liked the way they twisted it to say, okay, now you have to show your cards. And I think one of the competitors, I think it was like Nelson, who was like, if you have two friends out there, you're going to have to choose one, and one of them is going to get pissed. So it's definitely going to make an interesting season, a very dramatic season. And I think that it's really going to help with the politics of everything. Because we were starved for having politics over the last few seasons. Even on the regular show on USA, there was just a lack of using it. And I am excited to see how it plays out. It could go really epic or it could go really disastrous. So we're going to see how this goes.
Listen, I'm thinking it's going to go disastrous, and I don't want to miss a fucking moment of it. So Colleen and Kim, they pull the safe dagger. So they get to save a team. Colleen and Kim do the smartest thing in the world. I'm thinking at this point, they already got some noise that Jack already knows about their season. And they choose to save Laurel and Jack. And mind you, that's a good team to save. Having Laurel owe you one later on down the road is going to be fan-fucking-tastic. So the team that's going to be left is going to be Tori and Devin. They're going in. So the zone is going to be Tori and Devin versus Sam and Kayla, which is great. We got a rookie win the daily, and we got two vets going against each other.
What are you watching?
Oh, he's watching Bears porn. That's what he's watching.
I'm looking at this and saying, what the hell is this? And I'm
the
like,
shit is wild, right? Shit is mad wild.
My mind is just blown. It's like,
I don't even think you got into the comments of what the draw was. You're just like,
oh, I got it.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Everybody's into some crazy shit, and on Twitter you're gonna see some wild shit.
Yeah,
just really wasn't expecting that when you ran into Bears.
Me neither. I was like,
totally caught off guard.
Yeah.
All right. So the zone and the game they're going to play is I move, you move. Basically, and we've all seen this, it's one of those boards, got 5 marbles, and you have to move the board to get the marbles in the hole. Now, these people are going to be on pretty much, it looks like a snowboard, and that's how they're going to direct it. Now, we learned that Devin has this actual game as his coffee table in his house. We get into the daily. even I wasn't expecting this. Tori and Devin wiped the fucking floor with Kayla and Sam. Kayla, once again, well, I'm not sure when the last time, but she's an early exit or a first exit. She's the fuck up out of here. There's no redemption house. Bye-bye. But this elimination wasn't that great of a watch. It wasn't anything physical, even though I do think that it did take a significant amount of skill to get this done. You got balance, you got coordination, and you got intelligence. Tori and Devin fucking shined. They communicated well. They did well. They performed well. It even looked like they was having a lot of fun while doing it. And it wasn't even close. They fucking killed them. What did you guys think about today's elimination?
Well, Kayla openly said that what's his face? Devin has this same game in his living room. And it's like his entire coffee table is this game. So really, I think they immediately saw this, and I think Kayla was defeated. I was like, I'm screwed. And she obviously, I was going to say her and her husband, they haven't been together long, right? No. They've only been married for like a couple of months, and they were together for maybe a year. So they still haven't quite got their communication skills down.
Mm-hmm. But you're also married.
But Kayla's never been good in high pressure situations. And
also, this is a new dynamic for their marriage. I wouldn't take this as a judgment on their marriage or the way they communicate in their marriage.
Well, I mean, they were laughing about it afterwards. They're like, we suck at communication.
Right.
Yeah, they were honest about it. Mm-hmm.
And they never had to do this before. This is Sam's first challenge. This is Kayla working with a partner that she is super invested in. It's a whole different dynamic. So let's not say that their whole marriage depends on how they did in this elimination.
I don't think anybody did. Who's saying that their whole marriage depends on this?
No, I did. But there was a lot of smart ass comments on Twitter.
I was going to be like,
you motherfuckers know who you are.
I was like, who's trying to say that?
The reason why they shine, Devin's like, I've been here, done that. Let's get this done and let's go back in the house. That's the type of mentality that you got to have. You got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And basically, he showed you that it doesn't matter. I took out legends in the game. That's what he said exactly.
Big fact.
So let's get this done. Let's go back in the house and let's chill. Boom.
He won light bright. Come on now.
So the elimination is done. Kayla and Sam are out, but TJ isn't done. He has another twist.
Oh, yeah.
Brings in Bananas and Nani. Now, once again, the fucked up part is we wasn't surprised. He was in a whole bunch of promos leading up. We all knew he was in here. Not super surprised, but TJ did just drop probably the best team. Just the best team. But
I'm kind of confused where they're like, they skipped one person out and they're bringing one person in. I wouldn't understand if it's almost like,
They brought two people in.
Well, I know,
during the daily.
I was just going to say Sam and Kayla left and they're bringing in a new people. So I'm like, okay, this doesn't make any sense to me. I understand if it's like a twist where it's like a mercenary twist, like they did in Final Reckoning, where they're like, you take their place if you win. But I don't quite understand hey, we're dropping new people on you. Is next week, that's when, Jordan and Anissa are going to show up? Or when, I don't know who the other team is.
That's going to, Darrell and Veronica. So here goes the funny thing. This is going to lead to, it's a lot of people. I mean, we already had one team go out and 3 new teams come in on the first episode.
Technically, 2 teams went out. So
I'm thinking we're going, technically, but we also know they come back.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
So what I'm thinking is, Casey and Kenny come back.
Yes.
They do?
Yes. Because if you look at the previews, they're in the previews.
I don't know the spoilers for this season, but I do know they come back.
It just doesn't make any sense then.
Listen.
This season's never going to end.
Well, this is what I think is going to happen. I think we're going to see double eliminations, and I think we're going to see eliminations with 3 teams in them.
Ooh, do you think we'll see a purge? I haven't seen a purge in a really long time.
The thing about the purge is no one likes the purge. No one likes people getting booted from the season without having a fair shake in elimination. It sucks.
Right.
I kind of want to see a purge. I haven't seen a purge in a long time.
Right.
The only place that I don't mind seeing a purge is if you if you allow a lot of people into the finals, like if you allow like 7, 8 teams into the final, you can do something where like the bottom 3 are gone. And I'm kind of okay with that. You know, let a whole bunch of people get to the final and then dump half of them after the first day.
That makes sense.
I like that. So that's pretty much wraps up the challenge, Ride or Dies. You know what? Spies, Lies, Allies was like right in my head. I was about to say that shit. We only got one question on Twitter. It's from Best Fan 100. And how did you guys feel about the name of the elimination? I Move, You Move. It's fucking stupid. That's what it was. But they got to put that Ludacris song in, so
they
there we
didn't
go.
Put that music in there, did they?
They did. They put the Ludacris song in there. I move, you move, just like that. When I'm, yes. Yes, some genius at Bunham and Murray was just really high on that one. Fucking idiots. But
well, they love the 90s, and what that was 2000s, wasn't it actually?
Yes, early 2000s. So let's go ahead and rank today's episode 1 to 5 stars. What do you guys give this episode? Rob, go first.
I give it a 5. I'm ecstatic.
He's just hyped.
I'm hyped up. I'm like, yes, 38. The real challenge is back. Let's go.
Okay, Becky.
He's just happy to be here. Okay. I'm honestly gonna give it a 4. It had solid drama. It had good politics. It had some love and some friend zoning. I kind of appreciated it. And you know what? Like I said, we were starved. We were begging for it, and they gave it to us. And hopefully this is just the beginning, and we're just going to get so much more. And hey, I am ready for the Tori Jordan drama.
100%. Oh, that's right. Jordan and Nisa also come in too. I'm not as high as you, Rob, at 5 stars. 5 stars would indicate a perfect episode, and you would need
excited.
I get you excited, but for me, you definitely need a banging ass daily and a banging ass elimination. And even though both was good, I wouldn't consider them both banging. I'm going to give them a 4 also. It was a good episode, a lot of stuff to talk about, and all reality coming off of the heels of the Challenge USA, yeah, it makes it look even better. So,
like, I feel kind of bad because we're comparing it to that, but it's even, I even feel it's even better than last season, because last season was kind of dull for me too. So I can't barely remember it.
Yeah, there was moments that could have been better, but I didn't hate it as much as some people, but it works for me. So that's going to do it for us. Episode 1 of the Challenge 38, Ride or Dies. I mean, they might as well call it Ride, Spies, and Allies, but I'm glad we don't have a bunch of explosions or a bunch of bullshit with the agents. Very good to see. Before we get out of here, anybody got anything to add before I do the outro?
No, we're just happy to be back. We're happy to be on video.
Yes, back.
Thank you guys all for watching. Thank you guys all for listening. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and TikTok at LWC Podcast. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and TikTok at Lovewood Challenges. Cop your official Lovewood Challenges gear at shop.lwcpodcast.com. And our website is going to be lwcpodcast.com. Get your customizable challenge gear at shopthechallenge.com. And make sure you listen to Lovewood Challenges podcast on Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app. Once again, I am MTV Malik. He is Rob Stewart. She is Becky at Gift Master Bex. This is Lovewood Challenges. Good night.